Stand by, everyone. We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll open.
Tape roll.
Give me full sound on tape.
Sound up full.
All cameras, set your shots. We have 30 seconds to the studio. CG, check the titles for the talent, please. Stand by to cue announce and cue announce.
This week on JMU Today, we go to Stanton, Virginia, and the American Museum of Frontier Culture. And later in the program, we take a look at some problems and solutions for handicapped students at JMU.
Ready, tape in 2, and take it.
Now, live from the Television Production Center on the campus of James Madison University, this is JMU Today.
Hello and welcome to our last edition of JMU Today. I'm Anne-Marie Sims.
And I'm Daniel Bryant. Coming up, SGA is in the news, and Rob Landry will have that story in a moment.
Christmas on the Quad is back. Representatives from Buildings and Grounds recently erected the traditional Christmas tree in front of Wilson Hall. This year, the contemporary gospel singers will be performing prior to the actual lighting of the tree. The SGA expects about 200 to 300 to attend. Those braving the cold will be rewarded by hot chocolate and a good time. Christmas on the Quad will begin at 5:45 on Thursday.
Recently, construction crews have turned their attention to Anthony Seeger Hall. Because of the changes that the communications building is undergoing, the present electrical system is inadequate. Completion of the additions to Anthony Seeger Hall are expected to be done by June. High-voltage wires are currently being installed underground to service the additions.
The whole job here that we're doing is the update of the surface of the Seeger Hall, and it's running from your first manhole out on your main street around. We're putting in 3 additional manholes for future service, and we're updating it to 15 kVA surface.
During the fall, hundreds of student volunteers tie up the phone lines for the JMU Telefund. The Telefund is a part of the annual fund here at JMU. It's the only means of the university fundraising for academic needs that the state funding does not provide. Over a period of 24 nights, nearly 40,000 alumni and parents from the regions in the state are called and asked for a donation. This semester, the Telefund raised over $200,000, improving their efforts from last year nearly 26%. Next semester, the Telefund will go nationally, contacting alumni and parents all over the country.
A few weeks ago, SBA Legislative Vice President Alex Gordon was investigated for neglecting policy in conducting commuter senator elections. Film producer Rob Landry takes a closer look at JMU student government.
The Student Government Association is an organization at JMU through which students can present their concerns to the administration. In early November, however, certain members of the Senate alleged that the student body was not being well served by their legislative voice. In an article and an editorial letter to The Breeze, which appeared on November 6th, ex-student Representative Sven Johnson declared that the SGA Legislative Vice President, Alex Gordon, neglected his duties as the supervisor of commuter senator elections.
A lot of rule violations and questions that Alex Gordon, as Vice President, wasn't around to answer.
Johnson pointed out that Gordon left Harrisonburg the weekend prior to the elections, which were to be held on September 12th. Gordon said that he was visiting a friend on his own time, not the SGA's.
I had to go away that weekend, and it's nowhere in the Constitution that I have to stay during the weekends. It's nowhere in the Constitution that I have to stay during the weekends during minor elections. I took every provision possible to make sure that the minor elections were covered. But I had a personal emergency to attend to, and I'm just being a good friend.
As it turned out, commuter elections were not held at all. Gordon decided that they were unnecessary because the number of candidates matched the number of positions, which he raised from 20 to 27 the day before elections. This number keeps the amount of undergraduates represented by one commuter senator roughly equal to the amount of students represented by an on-campus senator.
There were 27 senator positions available, and only 27 people who applied to be candidates. Elections were unnecessary and unwarranted.
An investigative committee looked into 10 counts of Gordon's alleged negligence during the elections. SGA Chairperson Pro Tem Pat Southall discussed the results of the probe.
It was my job to set up an investigation committee after the Senate voted for it, and then they brought out the charges as far as whether or not they exonerated them or they were bringing them forth. And they exonerated 9, and they brought forth the 10th charge. And because the Senate decided not to go to trial, I cannot say what the charge was.
Gordon's duties regarding the commuter election process are outlined in the SGA bylaws under Article 1, Section 2, which states only that the legislative vice president shall resolve all issues involving minor elections pending appeals. Not stated is what exactly these issues are and what preparations are in fact necessary in order to conduct commuter elections effectively. The Senate has determined that Alex Gordon did not violate SGA policies in conducting commuter elections. Many wonder, however, just what those policies are. For JMU Today, I'm Rob Landry.
Coming up, we'll take a look at Christmas dinner in D Hall and a new project being erected in the Shenandoah Valley.
Back in a moment.
Don't miss the new arrival from the kids in the hall.
It's a boy. It's a wonderful, smart baby boy. This is the kind I was telling you about.
Where life is just an endless rush of excitement.
Yeah, Mom, great pot roast. Well, I know you like your pot roast. I love your pot roast.
Ah, that kid knows his pot roast.
And then there's
me.
So be sure to catch the next episode of The Kids in the Hall.
It's sleazy.
Until now, there was something missing from television. TV couldn't help you get any richer, any smarter, or healthier. You couldn't use TV to get ahead. TV just didn't do all that much for you. But that's changed. The Consumer News and Business Channel. Watch it. Use it. Only on cable.
Get ready for a heartwarming reunion that will sweep you off your feet.
I think it's going to be like old times.
Come on! Isn't this wonderful?
Journey back for the magical sequel to the smash hit Cocoon.
I want to share myself with you right now.
Oscar winner Don Amici.
I feel like a teenager.
And the original star-studded cast is back in Cocoon: The Return.
The Shenandoah Valley has not always been considered the eastern part of our nation. To American pioneers of the 18th century, the valley was the wild western front. Now there is a project only 30 minutes south of Harrisonburg that is attempting to recapture the times of incredible hardships that our ancestors struggled over 200 years ago. Kevin Schultz reports.
There's a $15 million project underway in Stanton, Virginia that is unlike any other in the country. The Museum of American Frontier Culture is designed to develop awareness of the important role made by the pioneers in the Shenandoah Valley, America's first western frontier. The museum, originally proposed in 1975, opened in September 1988. Marketing Director Joseph Grandstaff says it is designed for visitors to see and take part in life as it was lived in the 18th and 19th centuries.
They visit the 3 different European farms. They come to the American farm, and hopefully they can walk, away from the 4th farm and actually sit there and realize that, we as Americans are a mixture of a lot of different cultures.
This unusual outdoor museum, when totally complete, will contain the reconstruction of 4 historic farmsteads: English from West Sussex County, England, Scotch-Irish from County Tyrone, Northern Ireland, German from the Rhineland, and American from Eagle Rock, Virginia. The European households depict what the American settlers left behind, and the American farm represents the melding of those European influences. The Scotch-Irish and American farms are already open to visit, and each is an actual working farm. They are peopled with men and women carrying out the daily tasks of farm life.
We do have actual farm chores to do every day that keep us busy even when visitors aren't here. And even when visitors are here, we still have to do these jobs at the same time that we're talking to them.
The reconstruction of these farms is one fascinating aspect of the museum. For example, the Scotch-Irish house was actually taken apart stone by stone in County Tyrone, Ireland, and then reconstructed here in Augusta County, Virginia. Director of Research and Programs Ann McCleary says the process was quite a challenge.
They chipped away all the mortars, they numbered all of the stones, and packed them in crates and shipped them to us. They said it was a big jigsaw puzzle and we could figure it out. So we got the stones here and we had to lay them out, spread them out in the field by number, and try to put them all back together in the right place.
There are no tour guides for this museum. Visitors are free to roam and ask questions to any of the interpreters working in or out of the farmhouse. The interpreters have a vast knowledge of the history and components of the home they represent, and to them, no job could be more interesting.
It's so rewarding for me to have local people or people who have Scotch, Irish, or German or English background to say, and see the traditions that we carry on here at the museum and say, oh yes, my family has done that for years and years, and yes, we're Scotch, Irish, so now I understand why my family does it.
A fellow came through today and he said, you know, I really feel as though I'm in that time period. And I said, boy, we've done it today, you know, and I felt good. I've been on cloud nine ever since.
Since the museum opened in 1988, there have been well over 50,000 visitors. The museum is capable of handling 250,000 a year. Besides the revenue from these visitors, Grand Staff says there are two sources contributing to this unique museum.
Pure and simple, we're a public-private partnership. The land, the capital outlay money to develop the site, the new modern construction, the overhead for paid administrative staff, and so on. That's the public side. That's paid by the Commonwealth of Virginia. The private side, we have a private foundation, and their mission goal is to raise money to acquire the four farms, have them dismantled, shipped here, and reconstructed on the site.
This Museum of American Frontier Culture is being developed in two phases. Phase 1, which will be completed next year, includes the 4 farmhouses and a core educational program. Phase 2 promises expansion of these programs and is still being carefully researched. In Stanton, reporting for JMU Today, I'm Kevin Schultz.
JMU provides many opportunities for students to celebrate the Christmas season. Field producer Paul Baker visits the annual Christmas dinner in Gibbons Dining Hall.
Some holidays never seem complete without certain traditions. Christmas at JMU is being celebrated this week with the annual Christmas dinner. For the past 4 years, JMU Food Services has offered its Christmas in Colonial Virginia themed dinner. Student Allison Molinari says this traditional event is one of her favorites.
Because I think it's a nice chance for friends to dress up together and go out and celebrate Christmas right before finals.
The dining hall staff provides special treatment the moment students walk in the door. A hostess ushers everyone to the president's dining room for assorted hors d'oeuvres and mocktails. Bartenders and other staff members wait on guests as holiday socializing takes place. A recreated Colonial Virginia dinner is then served. Chef for the dinner, Richard Arnold, says that preparing the dinner takes a great deal of planning.
We start about 2 months ahead of time planning the menu, ordering the food, and getting the recipes together. And then it has to go through purchasing department and be purchased, and then come in, and then we start on it. About 4 days ago, we actually started working with the recipes and getting everything together for this particular night.
Delicacies such as beef Wellington, maple glazed ham, Dutchess potatoes, and candied yams are offered in buffet style. Special Events Dinner Coordinator Michelle Garand explains the reasoning behind the dinner's theme.
Both Rick, the chef, and myself love Colonial Williamsburg, and when we go out to dinner in Colonial Williamsburg, this is what we like it to be like. So that's why we decided to try this theme, and it just clicked. The first year it was a tremendous success, and so we've repeated it every year.
During the meal, a string quartet plays seasonal pieces, and holiday decorations help transform D Hall into a festive Christmas environment. Student Shannon Bursch says she enjoys this special event.
It's about the best meal that I think I've had here, and I came last year and had a great time, so we're back again.
With this kind of service, you never know who may show up for dinner. Even our own president, Dr. Carrier, could not resist stopping by this special event. One thing's for sure about this holiday dinner. It definitely puts you in the Christmas spirit. Where else can you go on campus and get a great meal, live entertainment, and a chance to spend a wonderful evening with friends? Here's wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. For JMU Today, I'm Paul Baker.
And coming up after this break, sports with Mike Caldwell.
Back in a moment.
December is filled with delights on ESPN. The inaugural ACC Big East Challenge kicks off a full month of great college basketball, while the College Football Bowl Bonanza kicks off with 3 big showdowns. There's Sunday night NFL featuring battles for playoff berths, and the Davis Cup final between Sweden and West Germany, plus the World Cup of figure skating with Olympic medalists galore. It's a dazzling December on ESPN.
Magic Johnson's great move. The no-look pass. He drives the lane. You bet the mortgage on the shot. He dishes off. You're faked out of your magic moves.
The no-look from Magic to Worthy.
Game on the line. Gut check time. Ooh, magic moves.
You can count it for 3.
This fall, there's magic in the air when Magic Johnson and the NBA move to TNT. Go where the NBA moves. TNT.
It's all set, Riley. I am promoting you. Excuses, always excuses. Don't I deserve a break?
Ah, the sweet sounds of success.
Did you pay the rent? It's a man for the electric company.
Rewarded to devoted husbands, loving fathers, good neighbors, and men of financial wizardry.
If you want to reduce your income tax, reduce your income.
What more could a man ask for? William Bendix is living the life of Riley. It's an American movie classic.
Controversy in the basketball team. Mike knows about it.
Yeah, Dan and Marie, the controversy, wherever Lefty Driesell goes, controversy seems to follow. He had it at Maryland, and now he's bringing the show on the road here to JMU. But this controversy isn't as major as some of the ones in the past, but it's still causing quite a stir on campus. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Duking It Out, this final sports look of the season. I'm Mike Caldwell. The JMU men's basketball team is making more news off the court than on the court these days. Duke's coach Lefty Driesell recently cut 2 scholarship players from the squad, leaving a squad of 13. Junior guard Doug Lowry and junior forward Alan Dorsey were described by Coach Driesell as not talented enough to play on our ball club, and left it at that. The controversy in this latest move is that many feel that Dorsey and Lowry were cut to free up scholarships. With no graduating seniors, Lefty was left without any scholarships to build upon his already talented program. It has been reported that Lefty offered Dorsey and Lowry a chance to travel with the team this year, but give up their scholarships next year. The 2 juniors will keep their scholarships, but the way this whole thing has been handled has left JMU's basketball program with a major PR gap. But Coach Driesell contends that he never tried to take scholarships away. He feels that he was only doing what was right for the players and for his team.
Because I told you I think the youngsters are wasting their time playing basketball, and I thought they were better off spending their time on academics. So, you know, they've still got their scholarships. Nobody's lost a scholarship. I've been coaching for a long time. I'm a very honest, etiquette person. Those youngsters will never tell you that I told them that I was going to take their scholarships away. Legally, I could, but I never would do that.
I talked with Lefty at length yesterday, and the coach is still pretty steamed over the whole situation. He feels that the media has blown this whole thing out of proportion, that Dorsey and Lowry are just seeking sympathy by going to the press. Well, back on the hardwood, you certainly can't fault the team's performance. Over the weekend, the Dukes demolished VMI 91-61. Madison's all-everything Steve Hood pumped in 17 to pace the Dukes. The 30-point bulge came over a cadet team that returned 5 starters from an 88 squad that lost a 94-92 nail-biter to Madison at the Convo. Look for more 28-point paybacks as the Dukes romp through their CAA conference schedule. But let's not forget the women hoopsters. The Lady Dukes are off to their annual fast start, crushing visiting Morgan State 68-32 last Sunday for their 3rd win against no losses. But tough tests await these young Dukes. The team travels to George Washington tonight, with 16th-ranked UVA coming into town on Saturday. The men's team squares off against Bimbo and the boys from Tech. Kind of sounds like an X-rated movie. This Thursday night, and tip-off time for that one is 9 o'clock. They compete in Savage Natatorium, so it seems fair to say that the JMU men's swimming and diving team, with its 6-0 record, has yet to be tamed in this, the wildest of seasons. Pardon the pun. Saturday, the Dukes drowned Old Dominion and the rest of the field to capture the championships of the JMU Invitationals. The Dukes' 6-0 overall mark and 3-0 CAA tally represent the best start in the program's 15-year history. The JMU football team closed out the year with its annual awards banquet recently. Most of the players and coaches were in attendance to honor some of the more outstanding performances of the season. Those who won major awards included tailback Greg Medley, Sonny Smith, and Darrell Thompson. Medley was selected Offensive Player of the Year, while Smith won the same award for the defense.
Thompson received the Bob Yetzer Award given for extensive dedication and determination both on and off the football field. Well, that about does it for sports. I'm trying to move out of the way of the graphic there. You never can know what happens on this show. Before I got caught trying to come on to the scene too early, but hey, it's been a great year, Dan and Anne-Marie, with sports. A lot has happened. The JMU football team didn't quite pan out to the preseason expectations, but the basketball team looks to be doing well despite the controversy.
Yeah, Virginia Tech this week.
Virginia Tech, exactly. They just beat Alabama, a nationally ranked team, so it should be quite a contest.
Great, great.
It's been great, I'm telling you.
Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. With 3 motorcycle dealerships in Harrisonburg, as well as a safety training course at Blue Ridge Community College, many students and Harrisonburg natives are taking to the road. Field producer Colin Lovett has this report.
There are many among us that put their cycles on a high pedestal. The people in the Shenandoah Valley are no exception. Motorcycle riding is very popular here. Ask any experienced rider, though, and they'll tell you that safety should be the first concern of any good biker. The manager of Shank Honda, Kevin Spittler, recommends that all new riders take a safety course such as the one offered at Blue Ridge Community College.
It's a safety course designed to get more educated and safer riders on the street. What we do to help that and help promote it is anyone who buys a bike from us, we will reimburse them the cost of that course. And that's our way of saying we'd also like to see safer, more educated, better riders on the street, make it a better sport for everyone.
The Valley has many beautiful roads to ride. Stacy Redifer of Early Cycle Center says that the choice adds to the popularity.
Well, there's a lot of places to ride, you know, up through the mountains, get on the Blue Ridge Parkway and ride either direction for hours, you know. And there's a lot of people in the area and everybody's into it, and I don't know, it's a nice place to ride.
Some JMU students have also gotten into the act. Spaces behind Harrison, as well as others around campus, are regularly filled with cycles. Many feel it's a matter of convenience as well as fun, because motorcycles don't have to go looking for parking. Motorcycling can be a lot of fun. If you think it's for you, go ahead and try it, but always remember, safety first, so wear your helmet. Reporting for JMU Today, I'm Colin Lovett.
With the help of the Office of Disability Services and campus construction, life has greatly improved on campus for the disabled students. Field producer Brian A. Smith has more.
James Madison University, known for its academics, sports, and just the college way of life, has a unique community that is often overlooked by the campus population. This group is the disabled student body. In the state of Virginia, JMU ranks among the best in disabled student support services. Office of Disability Services Coordinator Carol Grove explains her position and the service.
And what I do as coordinator is basically coordinate whatever programs are needed in order to enhance the chances of success for the students at JMU. That may be referring them to the counseling center on campus. It may be referring them to the reading, writing, and math lab. It may be referring them to the Department of Rehabilitative Services off campus, the Department for the Visually Impaired, the Hearing Impaired. So it's not restricted to things that we have on campus.
Academics are also important to disabled students, but for visually impaired student Sarah Mathis, support services were the major influence in her decision to attend JMU.
Carol Grove is a great coordinator. She's almost like a mom to us. She doesn't overprotect us, but she's there to help us find out where our classes are. She helps us register. She helps us arrange our housing so that it's close enough that we can get to our classes properly.
Even though the office provides many useful services for the disabled student, there are limitations that fall outside of their jurisdiction.
We are working on looking at better seating for handicapped students and handicapped spectators in the Convocation Center. I think we have access. We meet all the architectural codes, but a lot of times the architectural codes don't meet the student needs or don't meet the human needs. So I think the university is becoming more sensitive to that, but they're isolated situations like that.
Although construction was meant to enhance mobility, some students think there's still room for improvement.
I think when they're doing construction, the new constructions that has been going on around here, that they need to take consideration of putting ramps along with the steps. like the foot park over there, they put an extra pair of steps where they could have put a ramp, because right now when I go from the library, I have to go all the way around Gibbons, and they were building over there. They could have put a ramp there so I wouldn't have to do that. I know it would have been harder and extra plans or something, but since the campus is getting more handicapped students, they should have taken that in consideration.
They definitely need to find some way to maybe paint the edges of all the steps so that those of us students who have no depth perception can see the edges of the steps and don't walk around all day going, oh my God, am I going to fall?
Construction has refined many aspects of campus life. But no matter what, the disabled student wants fair treatment.
I want to be treated just like everybody else. I want to assimilate into the crowd.
I think definitely I had to ask for help sometimes, but I think that shouldn't stop me from being treated like a normal person.
Change never happens quickly, but the university is going beyond its legal responsibility to better the campus for all students. It is now up to everyone else to ensure fair and equal treatment. Brian A. Smith, JMU Today.
Well, folks, we're back here with Rudolph the sportscasting reindeer.
Ho, 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 Henry.
You plan on pulling any sleighs this season?
No, I don't think so. I just might pull down a few presents. I'm just wearing these, by the way, because there's no funny segment this week. Just thought you might get a kick out of this.
Well, this is for those of you who don't know, this is our last show for all of us here for this semester. For next semester, we'll have an entirely new newscast up here.
Lucky you guys.
Right. So, I mean, it's been an exciting semester for all of us.
It has. It's been an adventure. We've seen the adventures of Hamburger Helpless. We've had a rap. We've had all kinds of things.
And the Quad Monster.
Right.
From all of us here at JMU Today, we'd like to wish everyone a very happy and safe holiday season. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is your ticket to football's hottest head-to-head rivalry. There's one great hit after another in a schedule jammed with key interdivisional rivalries. The season reaches its grand finale when the fastest, strongest, and toughest gather for the Pro Bowl. The all-pro team of Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann bring you the head-to-head excitement of Sunday Night NFL, live on ESPN.
You were watching Channel 8, Fairfax. Please stay tuned for classic movies brought to you by Channel 8 and Nostalgia Variety.